Well, hi, this is Jason T. Ingram. It is the 13th of April, and I just got back from the meditation group, and my mental health is deteriorating a little bit day by day, but I do have some interesting things that are happening that make me think that this is a good thing. And so it's really hard to live with depression, especially when there's a really deep, deep depression going on, because it feels like you're going to sink down and you're never going to get back up. And so I've sunk down to where I feel like I'm never will able to get out of this, and I always get out of it. So after a while, depression doesn't seem to scare me as much as it did before, but it's a bitch because, well, for instance, I got home, I decided to take some pictures of my kitchen because there was, pieces of a broken plate that got smashed accidentally yesterday because I was starting to lose control of my ability to, my motor functions are getting messed up. And that's one of the things about depression is that, and every form of mental illness, you really start losing the ability to control your will, and you start losing control of your thoughts, and you start losing control of your body. And so yesterday was, it's embarrassing though, but I've decided that I was going to talk about my mental illness and my career. And my career is my vocation. It is my life. It is the thing that makes me happy. It is the thing that makes life worth living. It is my purpose, and it's been taken from me because of this illness. And the only way I feel like I could ever have that is to not do it alone. And yet, the more I ask for help, and I asked for help a couple times this week, and nothing. And I had a phone call that was over an hour long and nothing. I'm glad that's all I asked was this guy to listen to me. And he did. And I said, I'm just tired of getting advice from people and tired of just getting the runaround, and there's no substance to it. It's a check with $0 and 0 cents. They write it. It has value because it's a thing. It's a piece of paper, and it's got a signature on it. And it does have some value to it. You can use it to light your fire if you don't have any newspaper. But that doesn't have any value to me no matter how much time somebody spends on it. So he's given me advice. One of the pieces of advice was to not do this video journal and post it online until I'm feeling better. And I didn't think about it at the time, but I wanted to say, well, you know what? I was feeling good when I started this. It was hard. I wasn't, feeling better than usual, but I've gotten to a place in my mental and physical health where I can finally accomplish more than I have ever in probably my whole life, at least since I was a teenager. And so I consider that a success. What I have a hard time doing is that every time I try to tell my story, and this is what's really pissing me off, and I don't know how to get around this, because basically people just keep questioning me whether I'm doing the right thing. And in their minds, whether I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing has to do with their culture and their ideology. So if I think about what I was doing 20 years ago, and I'm talking to the people in my world, and I'm saying, I've hit a wall, I can't go any further, can you help me please? And they ask me, are you praying and are you reading your Bible? Well, no. Well, that's the first thing you need to start doing, is pray and read your Bible and then come back and talk to me next week. Well, that's the same fucking thing I'm getting now with this community that I live in, too, is they have a religion, and the religion is called treatment, and it's called white Buddhism mixed with secular wellness ideas. And that is their God. And if you're not following this and this and this, because it works for them, it works for everybody. Well, there's a certain amount of this kind of stuff that you can do to where you got to have other things in your life besides and I use this as an example, praying and reading your Bible. And so I decided, not really my decision though, but I'm looking at my pills and I'm looking at my life and I'm thinking, all this stuff I've been doing to try to make my life better, and it has, but it's not going to give me my life until people stop giving me advice and actually start doing something. And I don't know what to do anymore with these folks. But I did have a moment of compassion tonight because there was one particular guy who did something that was particularly disgusting last November. And this is a guy that has a lot of social status, I mean, like tens of thousands of followers on his Twitter. What he says, people listen to. And I saw him tonight, and he refuses to even make eye contact, so I stopped trying to talk to him. In fact, sometimes he'll see me come in the room and he'll just leave. So I don't know. I mean, it could just has nothing to do with me, and maybe it does. But I did know that I had an incredible amount of hatred towards him and towards people that I go to see if they could at least consider giving me a voice, because they have a voice. And his response was he was going along with what I was saying, only to just totally ignore me. And I wrote an email apologizing to him. Silence, ignoring that whole passive-aggressive bullshit that I cannot tolerate any longer. I mean, I cannot be in the room with people that do that kind of bullshit. I'm allergic to it. I mean, it really scares me because I know how much it hurts me and how much it hurts other people, and it's horrible. But I tried to see this guy tonight in a way, well, he's coming to a meditation group, so obviously he's seeking something, and he seems so unhappy. And I thought, what would it be like to have that kind of career where you have that kind of popularity, and yet to still be seeking truth or meaning or happiness or peace or whatever it is, must be really hard when you're at the top. I mean, it's one thing to seek peace when you're at the bottom and climbing, and it's like, I just want to find my place in the world, but somebody who has their place in the world, yet who is unhappy about it. And I actually had an ounce of compassion for this guy, and it really helped me. So that was really good. I didn't talk to him, but then again, but I held his hand when we were at our closing circle. And I made sure to stand next to him. well, it was time to hold hands, because I thought, if he's not even going to look at me, if I am that much of a threat to his whatever it is that he has developed in his life, and that he's decided that I am not even worth looking at, I thought it'd be interesting to just hold his hand and to see what kind of vibes he has, and it helped me. It really did, and I'm glad. And I'm also wondering how I'm going to get out of this. Because yesterday I have not had an episode like this in a long time. When I got that soup out of the microwave last night and I dropped the plate full of tortillas and cream cheese and stuff like that, I not only screamed out of just pain and frustration of just, because of all the pain that was inside of me, and suddenly I lose control of my fingers and I start breaking things, and then that's when it all just it explodes, because it's like all this stuff I've just been holding in just blah, and I fall on the floor and I'm hitting and I'm kicking and I'm screaming, and then I started laughing hysterically, and that's when it gets really sad, to where it's like the pain is so unbearable to where I just break out in cynical laughter. And when people are hurting to that point, and I'm disappointed by every single person, some of them more than others, some of them very little, but the disappointment I have in people and in humanity in general is at an all-time high that I haven't experienced in years, and it's a horrible feeling. And I'm also healing, and there was a thing tonight, I don't know if I want to share it, but it was very spiritual, and it had to do with the healing of my heart. But I'm glad, and I feel literally physical pain in my heart. It's so painful. The pain and the grief is unbearable, and it just reminds me of how I've been all of my life, and not having a voice and not having anywhere to go when the people that I look to help me are abusing me or turning their back on me, and it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And if there's one thing that I feel empowered about, it's the fact that I do have a voice. My voice is my art. My voice is what I'm doing now. And it's powerful. I don't care what the numbers are. I don't care who watches it, why they watch it, why they listen, why they see it. I don't care if there's just very few. The fact that I'm doing it, and the fact that it's my truth and it's my life, and it could very well expose things that are hurting other people, that gives me hope.